Hi there, Vinnie here from Graphite Note. And now I'm going to show you how to build a time series forecast model using our no-code machine learning platform. At Graphite Note, we have productized the most common machine learning models to cater for 90% plus of business use cases. We've done this by pre-building a series of machine learning and advanced analytics models that allow you, the user, to plug in your data and leverage the power of predictive analytics for your business to generate new growth gains, operational efficiencies, and to be able to get a preview of the future. What's about to happen and how can you influence that outcome? So I'm going to bring you back into the homepage of Graphite Note, and what you're going to see here is we have an import demo set feature. And we've designed this to allow any trial user or customer to be able to go into Graphite Note, download or import a data set for a model or use case in order to be able to see the power of machine learning in action for yourself. And I'm going to show you today how quick it is to create a model. So I'm going to create a time series forecast model. This data set is a store item demand, and really what it's used for is inventory optimization and demand forecasting. So to predict for the next, say, 3 months based on a couple of years of historical data. So I'm going to download the data set into Graphite Note. There's my co-founder, her boy, congratulating me on doing so. And now the data is in Graphite Note. And you'll see there are 9 columns and 3,500 rows. And we've everything from transaction date to year to weekday, year day, the store number, the item, sales, etc. So this is classic historical transaction data. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a model and use that data. So I go new model. I select time series forecast. I need to select the data set that I'm going to use to fuel the time series forecast model. I'll put in a tag here. And now in Graphite Note, we're talked through, or the users walked through the steps involved in building the model. So you'll see here an explanation behind each of the steps. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm selecting a target column. So in this instance, I'm going to select sales. Graphite Note automatically selects the parameters that you should use. And then if you want to amend or change those, some users are a bit more technical than others, then you can do so. But if you're not technical, it doesn't matter per se. So date, I'm going to look at interval, say daily, and I'm going to forecast 90 days into the future. And then I click next, and I'm going to run scenario. And now you can see here that the model training has been completed. The model was successfully deployed. And one thing I did put in here is under advanced is the ability to set country holidays, because one of the things we want to do with the time series forecast is to understand the impact of special dates and holiday dates, because that's critical to predicting future demand. So in the model performance, what you'll see here is that I have the overview, so model fit, and this is telling me based on the items in the transaction history that I used to power the model. You can see the actual sales are in blue and the predicted sales are in green or yellow, depending on how your eye sees it. So what this means is that we have taken a prediction and mapped it backwards to the actual data to give us a sense of how close the accuracy of the model is. So we can see here, overall, the model is outstanding. If the model was poor, it would tell us. So the models are data agnostic. So if there's data that doesn't fit the model, or if the data is poor, the model won't perform. So this model has performed well. So what you can see here is, this is a preview of what's going to happen in the future. So if this is today's date, these are the demand volumes for this item that we can see going forward. So how does this work? Well, the algorithms within the time series model, they go in and they deconstruct the data to define the global trend. So in this instance, you can see that the global trend is upwards in terms of growth for this product. To understand the impact of seasonality and special dates, both on a weekly and on a yearly basis. And very importantly, with the special dates and holiday effects, you get incorporated into the model the impact that that has. So in the predictions then that are being made, you can actually see there is a strong confidence band between the historical and the predicted. You can actually go in then and predict for dates. So you can predict the volumes that are going to be required on a certain date in the future, because in my scenario, I've set the parameters into the future, so I can predict them in the future. And also, you'll see here under performance, there are the details. So this is by day, showing the trend upwards, in this case, showing the volumes, and again by date and by year. So all of the detail is there in the background to be exported and used accordingly. So this is an overview of how to build a time series forecast model. That probably took 5-6 minutes in total for me to bring you through it. And the model itself took about 2 minutes to run, so I didn't keep you on for that part. And yeah, I hope you find it useful. And as I said at the start, what we do have in Graphite Note is a range of sample data sets for use cases to be used in certain Graphite Note models. So if you don't have your own sample data set, but you want to try a certain predictive analytics model, go into our import data demo set feature and use that yourself. I hope you find it useful.